Assalamu alaikum, dear students. As you know, we have completed lesson number 4, that is Lih, written by Andrew Harvey of class 12th English, Chinor 2nd. Today we will discuss it as questions, right? So let us start. Question number 1. What is the most fascinating thing in Lih? What is the most fascinating thing in Leh? The answer of this question is the most fascinating thing in Leh is its relaxing atmosphere and its palace, which wears different looks when viewed from different angles. There is nothing to do but observe the beauty and the charm existing there. The most fascinating thing in Leh is its relaxing atmosphere and its palace, which wears different looks when viewed from different angles. There is nothing to do but to observe the beauty and the charm existing there, right? In what state is the palace of Leh now? In what state is the palace of Leh now? किस हालत में अब लेह का जो पैलेस है, रानी का जो महल है, किस हालत में है वो अब? Answer is the palace is now desolate, bare and broken at many places. It is empty and crumbling. We find fat mice that came out of the dark corners to be fed. The palace is now desolate, bare and broken at many places. It is empty and crumbling. We find fat mice that come out of the dark corners to be fed. Now question number 3 है, from a distance it looks like a tent. What does it refer to? दूर से जाके देखें ये टेंट जैसा लगता है. What does it refer to? It यहाँ पे किसको रेफर करता है? Why does it look a tent? टेंट जैसा क्यों लगता है? The answer of the first part is it refers to the suspension bridge. It refers to the suspension bridge. This suspension bridge looks like a tent from a distance, right? So now question number first ka, it refers to the suspension bridge. Number second, why does it look a tent? It looks like a circus tent because it is covered with flags of every color. Now question 4, why does the queen and her family live now? Why does the queen and her family live now? अब queen और जो उसकी family है अब कहाँ पे रहते हैं वो? The queen and her family now live in the smaller palace at Stoke at a distance of 10 miles from the palace of Leh. ये जो queen है और उसकी जो family है, they now live in a smaller palace. एक छोटे से महल में रहते हैं. कहाँ पे वो महल? Stoke में, which is at a distance of 10 miles from this palace of Leh, right? Question number 5. Why has the bridge been covered with flags? How does the writer react to this sight? Why has the bridge been covered with flags? How does the writer react to this sight? Answer, the bridge has been covered with flags so that the river would not get angry, right? It is the lifeline of the region. They think if there were no flags, the river would get angry. The bridge is at the center of the valley, where the wind is very strong. The people of Leh believe that the prayers can be carried down all over the valley. The people of Leh believe that the prayers can be carried down all over the valley. The writer is so fascinated by the sight that his heart wants to dance and sing on the bridge, right? How does the writer react to the sight? The writer is so fascinated by the sight that his heart wants to dance and sing on the bridge. Now question number 6. Why does the writer decide not to enter the Rani's palace? Why does the writer decide not to enter the Rani's palace? Answer is, the writer feels that it's better to observe the scenery of the mountains in the daylight, which he thinks is more attractive and charming than the dark rooms of the palace. The writer feels that it is better to observe the scenery of the mountains in the daylight, which he thinks is more attractive and charming than the dark rooms of the palace. Therefore, he decides now to enter the palace of Rani at Stock. Right? Question number 7. The writer talks about something that moves him the most. The writer talks about something that moves him the most. What is it? Why is he moved by it? Answer is, though the writer saw the rocks and their dazzling forms, but he was not moved by them. Writer saw the rocks and their dazzling forms, but he was not moved by them. It is the signs of human companionship, right? It is the signs of human companionship that moved him the most. He was moved because he found marks of human love and prayer even in those barren and desolate places. Though the writer saw the rocks and their dazzling forms, but he was not moved by them. It is the signs of human companionship that moved him the most. He was moved because he found marks of human love and prayer even in those barren and desolate places. Now, question number 8. During his trek in the highest region of the mountains, during his trek in the highest regions of mountains, the writer comes across a number of objects and signs that express the religious spirit of the people of Leh. What are these? During his trek in the higher regions of the mountains, the writer comes across a number of objects and signs that expresses the religious spirit of the people of Leh. What are these? Answer: everywhere the writer during his trek in the mountains he finds there are mantra stones with the letters Om Mani Padme Hum written on them. There are latos or shrines to the spirits of the rock, and the air with desu horns and bones in large whitening piles on them, shrines to the gods of this landscape that are older than the Buddhist gods of tempests, gods of streams that carry wealth to the valley. Right? During his trek in the high regions of the mountains, the writer comes across a number of objects and signs. The writer comes across a number of objects and signs that express the religious spirit of the people of Leh. What are these? Answer is, everywhere the writer during his trek in the mountains he finds there are mantra stones with the letters Om Mani Padme Hum written on them. There are latos or shrines to the spirits of the rock, and the air with these horns and bones in large whitening piles on them, shrines to the gods of this landscape that are older than the Buddhist gods of tempests, gods of streams that carry wealth to the valley. Now, question number 9. The mountains of Leh have shrines of gods that are older than the Buddhist gods. Who are worshipped in these shrines? Can you think of any reason for this? Answer is, in these shrines, various gods are worshipped. The gods of tempests, gods of avalanches, gods of streams and air are worshipped by the Buddhists. They have tremendous faith on them. They think all these gods are wealth to the valley, right? Let me repeat this answer again. In these shrines, various gods are worshipped. In these shrines, various gods are worshipped. The gods of tempests, gods of avalanches, gods of streams, and air are worshipped by the Buddhists. They have tremendous faith on them. They think all these gods are wealth to the valley, right? Now, question number 10. Why does the writer feel that the Leh is different from Antarctica and Sahara? Why does the writer feel that the Leh is different from Antarctica and Sahara? Answer of this question is, being the coldest desert, one can see the marks of human love and prayer everywhere in Leh. The writer finds Leh different from Antarctica and the Sahara. He has not seen inhuman solitariness in Leh that exists in Antarctica and Sahara. The region of Leh is bubbling with human relationship, and its population has a particular characteristic of sharing feelings of joy and vows of each other. In this respect, Leh is different from Antarctica, and the Sahara. Thank you very much.